Ahoy there, everyone, and welcome back to a little bit of grimoire. So today is March 19th, and we are going to be looking at, I believe it's the mori and some other things. So let's look. Oh, revered judgment, the time will come for you to sacrifice a sinner by your own hand. Tell me, how do you kill in the entity's realm? So, oh, I peeped this. Holy moly. Or, okay, so let's look at the descriptions. So, this is what I've been saying. Stab them with the legs. Pardon me. Pardon. So we have impale the sinner, leaving behind their charred remains. So it looks like after they stab, I don't know what this panel is about. I don't understand. But this one is about the light entering and exploding out and burning. And that. I'm feeling like, okay, we have some like either animation movement and or yeah, I think it's animation movement versus like camera movement so much. Fun. And then the second one, we have summon a divine light to destroy the sinner from within. I do like these two panels. We kind of already have a couple that are splitting it though, but I do kind of like the floating, like let me just flip you over from the ground, lift you up, and just like wow, explosion of light. So even though in the past I've been more partial to this, like what we've seen from the killer power I feel like makes more sense with the other one, but this makes it feel like the legs have more use, like it's more, also they're connected, which I can't remember if that was the actual design. I feel like there was some gappage like this one. What would I be more okay with seeing? Probably this one. And that's as simple as it's gonna be. We're gonna go with the light. Oh, revered judgment, even in the entity's realm, you shall possess certain divine capabilities. Tell me, what is your first perk? This is the other thing that I forgot to mention. So it's also like an idea of what the perks are. So we have Vigilance, an obsession perk that gives you near perfect aura reveal. Or Run Down the Sinner, a totem perk that gives you incremental haste in chase. Since I'm more a survivor main, I'm kind of like, well, I do watch some killer main, like YouTubers, you know, whatever, you know, content creators, and I feel like near perfect aura reveal is gonna be helpful for killers that are already really good. It's interesting that it is limited to the obsession. It also means that if you have We See You, which is the one of 11's perks that gives you, like, if your aura is revealed X amount of times and you're running that with Object of Obsession or whatever its new name is, that used to be Laurie Strode's perk, that has kind of poor synergy, but I don't know that people really use that combo a lot. But you're gonna be getting a lot of aura. You're gonna be seeing the killer like constantly, like those specific things are together and work as intended. However, Run Down the Sinner, it being a hex totem, seems like by the fact that it's called a totem perk, gives you incremental haste in chase. Right now, it's very broad. What do I worry about? I feel like it sounds like buffing Bloodlust. I'm not sure how that'll actually play out, though. We're gonna go to the next one. We're not gonna quite lock that in yet. Oh, revered judgment. Tell me, what is your second perk? Hex? Oh. Hold on. Does that mean that if you cleanse totems that it actually gives them speed? Oh. Now, as somebody who runs inner strength, I don't know about that. I just wouldn't run inner strength then, probably. I would probably just run like self-care or whatever Sable's one that you can heal in the basement is. Anyway, let's look at these hex perks. Hex, flesh is weak. A hex perk that increases exhausted. Hex, under your thumb. A hex perk that limits survivor's haste. To be honest, I feel like a lot of the haste perks, and especially I'm talking about like some of the wombo combos, is A, that's pretty rare, and B, it kind of punishes people who are trying to go for the more wacky builds, which I would rather promote wacky, more unusual builds than I would using exhaustion perks. Although the other thing is that the problem is, regardless, is that I feel like if you do this hex perk, then the issue is that more people will try and run vigil if they're running. But I guess it's kind of, if they want to, I don't know, waste is quite the right word, but if they want to have 2 slots minimum dedicated to being able to run their exhaustion perk, waste their perk slots like that, then I feel like I'm more willing to do this one just because I know exhaustion perks are super meta, especially like sprint burst, live. Smash hit is coming back a little bit, but that's mostly because we have 5 moves ahead now from Taeyong. So that's why I'm gonna click that one. I like going fast too. I'm a little speed demon, so I'm like, do not touch my haste. Do not cap my haste. What is your third perk? We have Lay Waste, a perk that increases regression on near complete generators, and Desolation, a perk that gives broken to survivors who are nearby and when they recover. What's the and when they recover? It gives broken to when they are nearby. Does that mean... I don't really like the way that one's phrased. It sounds like it gives the broken status effect when you're in the killer's terror radius. I would hope that there are some more stipulations on that. Like after you get hurt the first time, then you're just broken when you're in their TR. And then when they recover, that sounds like counterintuitive to what I just said though. Because like if they recover and they're out of your terror radius, when they recover from the dying state and still in the terror radius, but however, Lay Waste, a perk that increases regression on near complete generators. To be honest, between the two, they both sound annoying. 99ing gens isn't really in the meta unless if you're playing against Pig. There's like only certain circumstances, and people have been saying that you need a nerf Pig, or sorry, buff Pig, which I'm of the mindset that I don't often win against Pig. Usually they have enough pressure that my teams just don't win in solo queue. Desolation just sounds really annoying from the survivor side. I feel like there's a chance that it could be implemented in a way that wouldn't be so annoying, but it just sounds really annoying. And and like, what's another gen regression perk? Ooh! O revered judgment, your exile is a place of great suffering, with much more suffering to come. Tell me, what does your exile look like? This one we're gonna have to click. A glimpse of the cosmos before the inevitable end arrives. So far, I'm leaning towards the purple. I'm gonna just say that, point blank. And then we have this one. An ethereal realm as resplendent as it is perilous. This one does match the color schemes that we have of the creature, of the entity, of the killer, of the judgment. So I feel like this one makes sense, but at the same time, like this, I feel like fits the vibes of everything else better. So I'm gonna go with this one, but like, I'm not gonna be mad either way. Now we have the survivor perks. Aurora, the time has come to determine your abilities within the entity's realm. Tell me, what is your first perk? So we have fruits of your labor, a token perk that gives incremental haste and healing, or shooting stars, a perk that shares and synergizes elusive between survivors. Oh, interesting. So elusive is what prevents your aura from being read. So we have been getting a few more of those, and I feel like they're really trying to play into that just because aura reading's kind of huge on quite a few killers. I love haste and healing. I love that it has fruit in it. I think before I vote on this one, I want to look at the other ones. I feel like I'm gonna be leaning towards fruits of your labor regardless, but I feel like there's a place for elusive, and I feel like I'd want to know a little bit more about having that, because it does feel like if this one were to win, this would be the most recent 3 all having elusive effects. I feel like this is behavior kind of hinting that there's a higher need for elusive, because the other 2 would be 11's perk, extrasensory perception. When you crouch, you gain elusive. It's like a little bunny symbol. And then Taeyong has a place for us. I think that's what it's called. The healing one that he has, where you both gain elusive while you're healing, and if it's the obsession, then you get it for longer. I'm considering. Now we have, tell me, what is your second perk? Salvation's Cry, a perk that shares auras when the killer starts a chase. Or What Goes Around, a perk that banks tokens for a big pallet stun. Potentially. This one also is one that kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other perks that are like front of mind. So like right now, 5 moves ahead, smash hit with a rework. Or not, it didn't get a rework, but anyway, smash hit. Some of the M2 killers getting reworks on how Eerie Button works out, which I haven't seen much with people talking about that, because people have already kind of talked about it, but I haven't really seen it in action. They say Eerie Button for Legion or End Fury. The thing though that I'm thinking about this is that if it shares survivor auras, although that's nice when people are being nice, when people want to sandbag, that's when it's not so nice. Oh, tough beans. But I don't know that I care so much for a big pallet stun. You know, like I do, but I don't. Like I see where that's helpful, but I feel like what this one will do is it'll punish lower tier killers who have issues with movement anyway. So for game balancing reasons, I think between these 2, I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah. Aurora, tell me, what is your third perk? Avant, a token perk that rewards scaring away crows. Boon, Steadfast, a boon perk that makes a single generator's progress permanent. I don't know what scaring away crows would be. Like, it doesn't really say what that does. Like, what would be the benefit? What would be the reward? Aura? you get a big crow that you can launch at the killer. And part of it could be with the new killer power, it might be good to have this. Because I imagine, right, they snuff it out, then you don't have that permanent progress. I would wonder if when you try and kick it, does it still look like it's been kicked? And then it maybe does a little animation that it's regressing, but it doesn't actually regress? Or does it just, like, you can't kick it? Like, how obvious is it that you can or cannot damage that generator? I think that would be my question. If it's super obvious that it's not doing anything, then part of me is like, this isn't gonna be super helpful. The other hand is that if we have yet another gen regression perk, then it would be good to have this. But also, crows! I'm gonna do crows for the sake of being quirky and fun. And that's about it, okay? Do not read too much into this. I'm just... Like, I see the vision, I'm just not part of the vision right now. Ooh, graphic design is my passion. The course of sin grows with every decision made, but every story needs to make its own mark. Tell me, what is the logo for this chapter? My eyes were immediately drawn to this one, and then I was like, hold up though, this one is giving like old papyrusy, and like, I feel it, but at the same time, this looks clean to me. I would be, right now I'm torn. So let's look at the little nope, no little descripy. Okay. Get a nice, good view of the lettering. Yeah, I love that repeated motif. I love the connecty. I just love how clean this one is. I also love how clean this one is still, but I think I like the balance of this one better and the balance of this one better. But I do like what they're doing with the H there and like the little ends. But I think we're gonna go with this one. But once again, another thing where like, this one is the only one that I'm not really wowed by. Like, it's not bad, but like these two especially, I'd be delighted. I'd be absolutely delighted. So we're gonna cast our vote for that. Except I need to actually vote for a couple of yeah. Now the question is, I love haste, I love healing. It's another token perk, and it would be, because it has haste, it's different enough from Taeyong's new perk Flow State, which gives you gen speed, totem speed, healing speed, unhooking speed, I believe. And I love that it's haste and healing. So I'd run Deja and Fruit. We're gonna go with easy value. Although I do believe that shooting stars is going to be useful, I'm gonna go with Fruits of Your Labor. Unless it's based on like unhooking. I could see that not being as good, except only in game. I don't know that it would be for healing. I feel like it would have to be for unhooking or like hook stages. Well, we're locked in, but like this one, I'm very much like both could be very good. And then this one, okay, just because I like variety, I'm gonna go with that one. Although it kind of isn't variety in its own way, but like I want to run Inner Strength. But I could like, I understand. You know, I understand. You can choose whatever you want. Like, honestly, I'm not really upset about any of these. Except for haste. Never limit my haste. How dare you? I feel good. I feel good about how this chapter is shaping up. Once again, this one, I'm just doing it for the whimsy of it all. And that is it for this latest round of the grimoire. Okay, so I did find it within the game itself. We have a little overview of what won the last vote. And then a little overview of all of the perks and stuff. And then at the very end, it does say it's open until Monday, March 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you go vote and help shape the next chapter. And then just a really quick one, there's also a new code if you use all caps karma. I don't know how much it matters much, but all caps karma in the store. Let's just go ahead and redeem that. hit redeem. And then we'll just do all caps karma. Oh. And we'll get those little goodies. There we go. Oh, the other thing too is that they did say that this was a little hidden panel, so it's purposely obscured to give a little surprise. But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.